Hello, my name is Dr. Gary Arthur in downtown Laguna Beach, and yes, I am still wearing my mask just to be safe, but there's nobody else in here, so I'm going to take it off. I'm going to breathe, and I'm just going to talk to you real quick about one of my favorite topics, whiplash. Now, chances are, if you're watching this video, either you or someone that you know or care about either has a new whiplash or is still suffering from the results of a chronic whiplash. That's called whiplash associated disorder. It creates a lot of chronic problems if it's not taken care of. Just so happens that I was in 1975, I was driving in the hills above Santa Barbara, and I stopped to make a turn into a lake called Cachuma Lake. I had forgotten something. I was going back to school, San Luis Obispo turnaround. I was waiting to make a left-hand turn, and there were all these touring motorcyclists, husbands and wives, probably 100, 200 bikes, I don't know. And I'm sitting there waiting with my left-hand turn blinker on and my hand out the window, hoping someone doesn't come around the corner. Sure enough, here comes somebody coming around the corner, and they're talking to their girlfriend and her mom. And I see the brights of his eyes behind me, and his skid marks, there were only about 10 feet of skid marks. He was going about 70 miles an hour, and I was at a dead stop. When I saw him coming, I turned my wheel to the right, quick, and bam, and it was like all slow motion as I flew through the car, and my sailboat went off the top of my Volvo wagon in the air going woo, 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 flying through the air. Fortunately, because I turned my car, I didn't just lay out, 20 people, because that's what would have happened if my car would have still been turned. So I was injured. I went to the hospital. They said nothing's fractured. But they said you should probably follow up with someone, maybe see a chiropractor or something like that. They gave me a collar, gave me some pain medications and some muscle relaxants. Man, I was hurt. And a chiropractor helped me. And he gave me about 5-6 treatments and my pain levels were down. But he said, Gary, the research shows that your body lays down scar tissue for 12 weeks after an injury, and you have to keep it massaged and adjusted so that you don't end up with a long-standing problem. Well, the insurance company said that we're not going to pay you for your car and your sailboat that were both totaled unless you say you're done with the injury. Now, here's a 21-year-old kid without a car at college. And so I said, okay, where do I sign? So they gave me, I don't know, $3,000 or some ridiculous amount of money, and I signed off. That was a bad mistake. Now, my symptoms got worse and worse and worse for the next 5 years. Headaches, neck pain, mid-back pain, and horrible sinus problems. And so I learned about whiplash from going through it myself. And I've actually specialized in helping people get out of a whiplash problem themselves. What happens is the head, which is about the weight of a bowling ball, gets pushed backwards and forwards really fast. And I have a bowling ball in here, and you imagine a bowling ball, which is, average bowling ball is about 11 pounds, from a dead stop and boom, like that with your neck. Oh my gosh, you tear all the ligaments and tendons in your neck, muscles here. You can see here what happens in the connective tissue in the middle of the neck. It tore. And then people end up healing with loss of curve in their neck. Here's a normal neck. This shows a man with about a 12-pound head. It's usually 8% of the body weight. But here's how people heal with their necks all the way forward like this. And that leads to chronic headaches, neck pain, mid-back pain, and even low back pain, as well as so much pressure people end up developing plantar fasciitis because they're always like this and their bodies are always activating the muscles in their feet to bring them back so they don't fall over. So we treat whiplash. There is so much research about it. I'm not going to go into all the research right now, just to say that the effect of whiplashes, even though they're small, there's no research that shows the amount of injury that you sustain is related to the speed of impact or the amount of damage to your car. No research shows that, even though insurance companies want to say that. But a lot of people are suffering and they don't know why, and it's from older whiplash where they fell off the diaper changing table, off the bike, It's not just a car accident, but snow ski, water ski, snowboard, toboggan runs, diving into the bottom of the swimming pool, getting slammed on the ocean. I mean, you name it. Football injuries, basketball falls, gymnastic problem. I mean, it goes on and on. Slipping on the ice, boom. And so even though it may not seem significant, you may be suffering from it. It's easy to tell if a person has been injured. There's a 28% higher chance of disc herniations. 96% of the people that have had some sort of neck trauma like that end up with an abnormal curve in their neck, which predisposes them to degenerative arthritis and associated problems. It's a very real problem. And a lot of times, the longer that you wait to get it fixed, the more problems you're going to have and the more degeneration of the spine you're going to see, because gravity is 15 pounds per square inch, 14.7, and our spine is designed to have these curves in it to handle the weight of gravity. Well, wherever you get a distortion, now you're going to start putting more pressure on the spine wherever the distortion is from how God made our body to actually handle the weight of gravity. And so if your neck's out here, you're going to have a lot of pressure, and most people get the degenerative arthritis and the disc herniations right in the middle of the neck. C4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is what we see over and over and over. So no matter where you are in that cycle, whether it's new or fresh, you need a minimum of 12 weeks of care after a whiplash, potentially more. Crofts and Foreman are some researchers that said that a patient may require care up to 2 years later from the onset of an accident. So there's a lot that can be done, and it's associated with a lot of different health problems, balance problems, cognitive problems, memory problems. We've got tons and tons of research for you scientific people that want to know more. You can contact us and we can give you all kinds of scientific studies. But if that's something you're interested in, we would be honored to do an evaluation for you and see what may be causing your symptoms and what can be done, not only to give you some temporary relief, but a lot of people like me, when I finally found a chiropractor that, 5 years later, I mean, this was what I looked like. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see these x-rays, but, my neck looked like this. Can you see that okay? Here's my horrible teeth. I had mercury poisoning too. I had no curve in my neck whatsoever. And then this was after the care. My before and afters were pretty amazing. Took me 9 months to fix it. But yeah, it's doable. It's doable, and you just got to know why you want to get better. And if you decide you want more than just temporary relief, I remember this doctor asked me, "So Gary, you have all these symptoms." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, what do you want to do about it?" I said, "Well, I want them to go away." Like, duh. And he says, "Okay, well then it means we have to find the cause of it, and we have to put together a solution that's going to fix the cause. Because if you only treat for temporary relief, what's going to happen if you haven't fixed the cause? You tell me. It's going to come back. That's right. And it's going to get worse with time." So I decided that I wanted to fix it for good. I told him I want to fix it for good. A day, he said, "A day, a week, a month, a year, forever. What do you want?" I said, "Forever." And then I came up with all my reasons why I couldn't do it. Well, I don't have the money. Well, my wife says, "We have a credit card." Well, I don't want to go into debt. She goes, "Honey, look at your x-ray. Aren't you in debt to that already?" Man, everywhere I turn. She goes, "And I'm watching you suffer, and it's bothering my quality of life to see you suffering. So get over it, get off yourself, and think about me and fix your darn neck for good, So I ended up doing it, and it was probably the third best decision I ever made, and in my life, and it made me go from not being a chiropractic patient and not really even thinking chiropractic was valuable or scientific into turning my life into wanting to be a chiropractor that could help other people. And then I became a naturopathic doctor as well. So that's my quick story on Whiplash. I hope that helps you, or hopes it helps you to share it with someone else, and love to help you. God bless.